Do I have to repeat that?
No, I don't think so. I think your glasses are a little bit askew. Microphone check. Are we good? Okay. I think I was fortunate to have parents who loved the arts, loved literature, and loved theatre. So I was exposed to a lot of different art forms growing up. Art galleries, performance of every kind, dance, Indian classical music, Chinese classical music. And I think my dad had done a lot of theatre in school and in university, but he went into the law. My mum loved reading, and I think she introduced all the sort of serious literature to me as a kid. So I think when I found doing theatre in school was both social, but it was also very personal. So yes, there was teamwork, there's collaboration, but ultimately it's an endeavor that requires individual effort, that necessitates individual effort, and that rewards individual effort. So I think that's something that kind of set me up for the longer term. Scene by scene that Max has designed, sets by Katrina.
So they know which they're listed here.
Right. So one of my privileges and responsibilities at Checkpoint Theatre is overseeing the development of new work. And I function often in a project as a dramaturg. And the dramaturg works with the writer to help them write the best play that they can. So that means in the Checkpoint Theatre process, taking between 1 and 3 years, in the case of Secondary the Musical, to go through successive drafts of the script, give the writer feedback, curate feedback from other collaborators and team members, go through and sometimes suggest extremely specific edits, but also ask questions. Get the writer to think about the larger issues, get them to dig deep into what they really want to address with the work. We met Weish in 2011. She came and introduced herself. She was an undergraduate at National University of Singapore, NUS. We had just done a show called The Good, the Bad, the Surely at the NUS Arts Festival. She loved the show, wanted to get involved, and then we heard from her a year later. February 2012, she wrote to us to say, "Hi, Mr. Sulaiman, do you have anything that I can work on? I'd like to get involved with NUS Stage." And we were just about to embark on a work with NUS Stage for the NUS Arts Festival called City Night Songs, and that was Checkpoint Theatre's first ever musical before Secondary the Musical. Yeah, and so we got to know her then as an undergraduate, and she was already making music. She was already part of an electronic music duo called .gif, and then we continued after her graduation to sort of stay in touch with her as an artist, and she worked with escalating projects with us over the years. And so we just seen her from 2019 to 2020 growing so much as an artist. Massive undertaking of Displaced Persons Welcome Dinner, massive undertaking of arranging all this music for a whole set of instrumentalists for music of Checkpoint Theatre, and then going to this incredibly deep and personal place for 2 songs and a story, and realizing that she can write in different styles. She is writing a monologue from a very powerful literary perspective, and I think all of those things made us realize she's maturing an enormous amount as an artist. So all along the way, whenever we meet Weish to talk about a project, she is talking about her experiences as a teacher, because she was a Ministry of Education scholar. She'd gone to teach in schools, and she had these stories of the challenges of the teaching profession, but also of the rewards of the teaching profession and what it felt like to engage with students who blossomed under her care. And eventually Claire and I were like, hey, these are great stories, these are amazing experiences. Why don't you make a work out of this? Why don't you write a musical?
And I was like, I'm not a huge fan of musicals. Like, some of them I like, but as a form, I don't know if I can write it. And he persisted and said, why don't you just try a couple of scenes? Just give me 2 scenes, like, in 2 weeks. Just write me some scenes. I just want to relive parts of your life from that time. Just write from your memory, have fun with it, no pressure. Then all these, I guess, old scenes from memories I had long packed away just started emerging, and I was remembering all these kids that I used to adore. And then it's like, okay, try write a song, just one song. And there was a lot of Huzir saying like, can you write the Weishiest Weish song that can exist in a musical? Like, don't try and write me a Sondheim song, or don't try and write me a, Phantom of the Opera song. Just write a Weish song like you always write, but so happens to be like the, what this character wants to say in this moment. It's like, fine. And so I did that. It was very fun and very cathartic. And then many of the early drafts didn't make it to the play, but it kind of, I guess, got me thinking about the possibility. It's like Huzir was very careful to not nitpick as my dramaturg from early, and he would make broader comments about, okay, this is very depressing. If you want this whole play to feel like a big weight of darkness, that's fine, if that's your intention. But is it? And then it would kind of make me interrogate what I want and what I want people to feel. So I'm like, okay, yes, this part is so heavy and it's full of darkness because it contains all my raw trauma. And so do I break that up? Do I want more light to balance the dark? If I had hopeful things to say, what would they be? And so it was kind of those broad strokes. So I think a typical conversation with Huzir in the early stages was these big things, like he would compare it to classic tragedy, or different types of plays, and where I want to situate this play as a style, or what is the core feeling I want to impart.
I would have perhaps a page of very detailed things that I wanted her to look at. Example, the character of Mandy started off as a somewhat one-note antagonist, and with my recommendation, over time, Mandy developed a much more three-dimensional arc. She became somebody with her own understandable motives, her own level of investment in the students, and then it became this very meaty, complex part that, of course, Rebecca Sangeeta Dore really did justice to. So with each draft, a whole half page or a page of detailed feedback, and it was a back and forth.
And only in later drafts did dramaturgy appear like, I don't think we have enough context to arrive here yet. Why don't we reshuffle? Or I think the scene is 3 times as long as it needs to be. How would you tighten it? What is the core information I need to receive from this?
Because as teachers, we actually hold the secrets of the universe one.
Well, I guess these little things are, the colors to his character, and that's really how maths teachers talk. Very honestly, like these are all little ticks that.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying on stage in the context of a scene, it's weighing down for me. Like I want to, like, you have to have enough fat for flavor and not so much fat that you feel jalap. And I'm finding that at the end of this scene, like it's weighing down. It's just a tiny thing. Or if you like the tell you honestly, then I would take off the because. Hey, why do I even talk to you? Tell you honestly, maths teachers, we actually hold the secrets of the universe one. Because even the one is an addition. I mean, if you could have, we hold the secrets of the universe one, that's one version. We actually hold the secrets of the universe one. tell you honestly, we actually hold the secrets of the universe one. Tell you honestly, we actually hold the secrets of the universe one. Because, tell you honestly, we actually hold the secrets of the universe one. Because, tell you honestly, maths teachers, we actually hold the secret. It's like level 7 of...
When you read it like that, yes, but when Charlie does it, it sounds very authentic to the maths teacher lah.
I would recommend things and Weish would not always agree. Sometimes I would press my case. Sometimes I learned a lot from the passion with which she mounted a defense. She would argue for something and I realized that I might still have an issue with that original thing, but the way that she saw it made me think we could unlock other ways of solving the problem. So it was not necessarily the suggestion that I had, but we could honor her intention, but maybe resolve some of the plot issues or the character issues that I was concerned with in another way. She did the work.
Yeah.
She put in the work. I mean, just endless drafts and making things better, responding to things that I would say as dramaturg, responding to her own incredibly high standards.
I mean, I was privy to the meetings, the one-on-one meetings that you both would have here, you know, just literally nitpicking, you know, like pinpointing this word or this.
I wouldn't say nitpicking.
Sorry, okay, not nitpicking, but
I say looking in great detail, looking at the script in great detail.
Yeah,
not
really,
nitpicking.
really looking at every line, every word, the lyrics, the structure, and so many late night conversations. I would only hear your side, and then all the text messages. Yeah, it was quite a journey. Quite a journey.
And here it comes again. The pages I have crammed, information overplayed in my brain. Here it comes again. The time to prove that I've been doing all I can.
Pick up your pens, you may begin.
And here it comes again. The years that I have prayed to be worthy of the grade, to be praised. Here it comes again. So you can prize me, recognize me as I am. Please leave a space in the margins.
I sometimes think that 85% of the director's art is in the casting. You cast the right people and then your job becomes so much easier. We had an open audition call. I think we had about 150 or 160 people submit. We did self-tapes of a comedic monologue, a serious monologue, and 2 songs. We wanted to attract people who could handle the complex music but also give us very layered, nuanced performances. After reviewing the tapes, I think we saw about 50 or 60 of them in the room. From then, the next round was, I think, about 25. And from those 25, we eventually cast 12.
Faster, please, move faster. Adi, why are you walking?
I'm very sensitive to pace. Let me assure you that we are very, very mindful that anything we're doing is just tightening and mostly shortening. I mean, under a lot of pressure from my colleagues to make sure that it's a 2-hour 40 show and not a 3-hour show, because apparently that last 20 minutes causes all kinds of cataclysmic consequences, like people miss the last bus and people are tired and so actually that's a lot of what I've been trying to do, and Weish has been very bravely cutting. So we're still we're trying, that's the impetus, but as I say, as you cut, it reveals certain things that need to be slightly improved. Well, if you want to go to general rating or something that's even wider, we don't mind. But it's if you go to something more if you go to something more restrictive, in all seriousness, it is very problematic for us. So, but I know you can't say officially at the moment, but my sensing is that if you guys are reasonably comfortable, we'll just continue as per, and we won't give you any surprises. You don't give us any surprises, and we'll just, you know, hopefully have a great show that is advisory, mature themes, and you know, we'll do our part to make sure we maintain a good relationship with the schools. That went well, thankfully.
Behind the curtain, behind those doors. Behind the scenes, we keep the score. How can this be? What would it make me?
Genevieve Tan, phenomenal actress. It was her professional debut. Embraced this role with such passion because her natural approach to the scene, the textual intelligence that she brought to it, her understanding of Lee Lin's arc was all spot on. I mean, her natural gifts of the actor, where she is in life, how her worldview resonates with Lee Lin, they were all perfect for the role.
It was very helpful that Huzir and Weish brought in a lot of material for us to study. Huzir took Weish, June and I out to dinner, and at that dinner, Weish told us about her experiences as a teacher and also about some of the origins of the play. Huzir had a good degree of insight. He could see that the embodied experience of being a teacher was not there yet and how he could help us get there. So that was really, really good. There was a lot of attention to detail. Huzir was very exacting in our physicality and in our execution of the choreography. So, for instance, Huzir would specify how a specific action or choreo had to evoke a certain emotional quality.
You don't tell coach, I'll self-tell.
You keep your promise. I'll keep mine.
You're good.
Hey, that's very nice. That was very nice. I need that level of anger. I need that level of. But you don't fist bump him at the end. So you put the fist out. Are we good? The final one, and you nod. We good, but you don't bump his fist because you're still pissed off. So then at the end of the play, when you bump his fist, got meaning.
And one of the Omas and Mings, they think they're stupid, useless, that they fully deserve the bottom of the barrel.
And when you weigh them down with the baggage of this ideology, make them hyper aware of the disadvantages outside of their control, what's that going to do?
So, Lilian, how do you feel at the end of the scene? Huh?
I'm a bit gaslit.
Yeah.
I'm a bit gaslit, a bit confused, but like, I'm not sure if I'm being gaslit.
Yeah.
I feel so icky.
No, there is something. I think the fact that you are like getting emotional suddenly, right? It's very manipulative.
Yeah, normally,
it's fantastically manipulative.
Yeah, normally when I get emotional, I really do feel it.
Yeah.
But this time, it didn't feel real because I didn't go there.
Yeah.
And so the tears, I felt like Mandy manufactured it.
Yes.
Like a little bit.
Which also works. Which also works.
Real.
For Mandy, it was important that her character not be a traditional antagonist, that she be three-dimensional, that she be complex, that she is someone who is invested in the students but just has a different point of view from Lee Lin's point of view. But she cares, and she firmly believes that if Lee Lin were a few years older or had more experience, she would think the same as Mandy. So she is fond of Lee Lin, but she wants Lee Lin to learn from her ways. Because she's messing them up. You tried Sec 1, Sec 2, you went a long way, now she's coming along like, you know, with her Marxist conspiracy and is messing everything up. Right? So I need, so don't disengage with her. I think use the full force of your persuasion, your moral righteousness, your charm, your appeal to her. You're also pushing her privilege guilt button a lot. Don't let her win. We really have to see you as the moral winner of this scene, right? So actually, when you hand her the scene, the poems, I actually want it to come across as not like you are hurt, but it's almost petty, like, you know, because she's won, like, here are the poems. And so Mandy is, let's play her, big-hearted enough that she's genuinely happy with the poems. Oh, great, the poems are here. So there's that moment where it's not like, here are the poems and let her stalk out. It's like, okay, great, the poems, you know, I don't know why you're being such a juvenile, like, you know, person. Like, you care about the poems. You care enough. And me, I think Mandy is a secret hero of this play. You know? Yeah. Or part of my storytelling belief is that everyone thinks they're the hero of their own story, but I think the play also allows us legitimately to see Mandy as a very justifiable heroine in her own terms. So once we built in the complexity of Mandy, it was a joy to see Rebecca Sangeethadoye rise to the occasion and layer it with such nuance.
But that being said, I don't think this will be there for the whole song.
Yeah.
Maybe
Because there's parts lah.
Correct.
But there's also an intensification when Charlie comes back on paper. It's a big intensification, and then the students start to move left, right. They move and share their results, and that's when they find out, oh, wrong was so retained. Then it ends in the hug. So it needs an escalation, a particular escalation at the end.
Okay.
My brief to Petrina is school, but make it beautiful. During the workshop period, during our design meetings, there was a lot of research that was done into the actual environment of schools. So what is the vernacular architecture? How are schools fitted out? How are they orienting their spaces internally? So when we knew all that, I then said, look, can we look at something that is not brutalist and industrial? Can we look at something that is not dehumanizing in terms of the architecture and finishing, but something that is refined? Petrina, I said, can you consider the aesthetics of a Japanese tea house and apply it to something that plausibly also approximates the volumes and spatial relationships of a Singapore school? Hence, we have that beautiful curved staircase. We have the juxtaposition of wood and metal. We have the use of plexiglass on the platforms and the floor. We have the use of practical LED lights that are recessed into the structure. And we have a tree. I want lights through the tree, so like dapple leaves. I think when Ming, that's not a gobo, but actually the shadow of our fig tree. The real shadow of our fig tree. The real shadow of our fig tree, like especially I think when Ming sings her first solo, What is a Voice?
Please, women can wear sleeveless dress. Upbeat got me, downstairs got breeze.
All of the characters, I was looking at the arc. I was looking at the structure of things.
It was like that with every character, kind of charting their journey, making sure their arc peaks at the right place, not too early, or making sure Charlie, while he is comic relief for so much of it, still reads as human, still reads as someone who cares, so that we root for him and we want him to succeed in his own way and we want his relationships to thrive. Instead of writing him off as the jester of the show. So I think a lot of that was dramaturgy.
Why still not yet, Sia?
Please, relax.
They said results come out midnight, it's 12:20 already.
They also said my ITQ should be approved.
Okay, be careful of the voice. It has returned. One more time.
So for the character of Charlie Chu, the maths teacher, Junvin has a natural comedic brilliance. What was interesting for me was how to marry that to a kind of physical exuberance. Can you do a backflip? Are you a backflip kind of guy? Okay, and I'm just thinking of some... Huh? No, I'm just thinking at the end when it's your wife, right? Like you do that escalation, but then suddenly realizing that it's your wife, like you can't kill her, so you have to disengage quickly, right? Yeah. So I was just wondering if you could flip backwards. Is that within your realm of?
No, I don't have the parkour skills.
Oh, okay. Is there something you can? Yeah, or. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think? Hey!
Yes. Very nice. And so we then built this much more flamboyant physicality, which was a lovely contrast with his very deadpan, very humorous, very laconic approach to the character. Jun was very good at balancing all these things, the comedy, the physicality, but also the depths of the character, the pain that he's had to endure as a teacher, and that learning that he undergoes, the revelation that he can be a different kind of teacher. He can be a different sort of person and can in a different way.
Anyway, back to algebra, shall we?
Yeah, that works. Actually, the third time, when you're at maximum whisper, can you have no hands? So we just see you straining, like the veins popping out, you know? Yeah.
And then pull out nail key and then
So it's almost like the first one is here, the second one is down, so more of us can see your face, and then the third one is really like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Sanjing ping ari. Pull out milk tea and then
Is a friend of mine, always burnt out, but I don't know why she still hasn't learned to draw the lines.
Nice. Okay, remember that. That's nice.
Weish was wearing multiple hats. She was the playwright who was in the room and I was negotiating with in terms of cuts or restructuring the scenes. She was the composer, but by the time we started rehearsals, most of the songs were already set. But her kind of duty that was live and continuing and ongoing was musical director. So ensuring that the cast learned the songs properly, thinking about how they could be sung, changing the arrangement slightly or the part assignment if need be, but really working with the actors to bring out the emotional resonance of the songs, the underlying meaning of the songs, to tell the story with the songs. And that was important. Weish would give me feedback in her capacity as the playwright on how she thought certain scenes could be directed, or were there moments of tension. Boys and girls' attention is one phrase together. I think feet together and face front are two separate commands. So I mean, I'm not sure how that translates to how they sing it, but I think the intention needs to be feet together is one command, face front is another command. Forge ahead is a third command, dry eyes is a fourth command, and then we come back to one thing, which is walk on and hold your head high. That's together. Yeah, so it's one together, then two separate, then two separate, then one together. Yeah. I also have taught playwriting quite a lot, so from 2007 through into the pandemic. And even though that was at a tertiary level, I understood the challenges that Weish faced with her secondary school teaching life in terms of that tremendous sense of responsibility you feel, knowing that, oh gosh, if I just try a little harder today, maybe I can unlock something in the student, I can open up their minds, I can spark a sense of joy in literature or the arts. I know, because Weish has told us these stories as friends over the years, I know that she was so consumed by that she cared so much. And then you see that in her writing as well. Okay, look, one more tweak. I think touch each of them as you go. Yeah, so each as she touches each of you, you feel that, okay. Did you ever do Marie Kondo? So the whole thing is, yeah, you touch it, you say thank you, and then you let it go. So I think that's what is going on here. You touch it lightly, it does not spark joy, so you let it go. Yeah. Have that part of the whole conversation go in, right? So you're coming in, you're continuing something, right? You're talking about after exam plans, right? So you come in, what's the lines? You just say the lines as I'm, okay?
My senior character is going to do this. Sorry. I just went
Take away your mulku. Confiscate your mulku. The three student friends, internally we refer to them as the three amigos. An unlikely trio of friends, as Weish wrote them, but brought to life so brilliantly by Krish, Trisha, and Shahid. Trisha Tan threw herself into that role and worked very hard at that role with some powerful solos, an enormously natural and spirited performance at the same time.
I think it's very interesting to work with Huzir as a director, in the sense that he kind of has an idea of how he wants the outcome to look like, I feel, and then he lets you figure it out and how to get there. He was also very giving in the sense that he was, I guess this overlaps with his work as a dramaturg. He was very willing to let you explore and question the relationships and character motivations and things like that. Huzir invited me, Krish, and Shahid as the three amigos to sit down and chat about how we felt like our relationship developed, why we were friends, who, like, things that don't make it into the script, like who our crushes were, do we have time for crushes, do we have time for relationships, things like that. Very, very interesting things came to the forefront.
Okay, you?
I don't think about PGRs. I'm probably a little bit scarred by sex, given that I have so many like younger siblings.
Yeah, because for you, like the mother and men is just nothing good comes of it, right?
And then you end up like, yeah, thinking about, and it really enhances your relationships, and how you get there is how you get there, which was like very inspiring to watch, because it's like, wow, watching the pieces like fall into place, you know what I mean?
What does 1 point do? What does 1 point tell you? What about 1.1? What about 1.2? What does 1 point say? What does 1 point change? What is the point of playing just for 1 point's sake?
Yeah, you take the top.
Yeah, you take the top spot, not the dictator. Why? The dictator's a small child. Dictator means potato.
Krishna Rajan as Rayansh dug deep to find that very charming nerdiness of Rayansh, always measuring things, always looking out for his friends, thinking about the world in very scientific, quantitative ways. He was able to pull out that sweetness of youth the innocence and intensity of emotions of a teenager of that age. It was such a joy to watch.
He came closer to us than ever before, right? And then you go back, you can move quickly between different positions. But when you're in a position, you can be, you want to do this, this stuff, you can. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But just so that there's like slightly erratic and destabilizing bursts of energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Omar. Last school time, yeah. You guys wanted a freestyle, so here I go. Y'all ready for this? They say I am a stud, but I'm just a humble man who likes to create art for people who like art. I'm born on April Fools. They say I tak betul, but I make my own rules with my friends at school. Because we can, yeah, we legit from Truro West to Tampines. Because we can.
Casting Shahid Nashir as Omar allowed us to see his immense versatility. He played a very different part in the 2023 production of Brown Boys Don't Tell Jokes, which I directed. He was a very meek academic in that, and here he became a rebellious schoolboy in Secondary the Musical. Incredibly hardworking actor, immense natural talent, somebody that everybody loved. And I still remember the busloads of schoolboys who came to see Secondary, waiting outside, shyly coming up to him and saying, hello, Mr. Omar, can we take a picture with you? So he was somebody that everybody in the production grew to love, I think.
0 meters. Omar Rakian, surrender your IC.
Sir.
Please wait here for your father.
My father?
Okay. If this is, say, a 3 or 4, can you amp it up to like 6 or 7?
You put on weight, pantat sweet, eh? Okay, I'm gonna record, Okay.
More delighted. You're delighted. And more innocent, yeah. You're a nice boy.
Okay.
You learned the word pantat yesterday.
Your face already all pork mark.
Claire and I have worked with Shah for decades, from some of our earliest productions, and he is someone who's grown with us as a sound designer, as well as, of course, the brilliant and famous sound engineer that he is. I knew that when you've got 12 RF radio frequency microphone, wireless microphones on your actors, and you have to balance that against some quite loud, some quite soft backing tracks. You have to balance that against moments where there is no music and it's just talking, and sometimes it can be a very quiet, intimate moment. You need somebody who's a brilliant live sound guy, and Shah really came through.
A big thing for me from really early was to capture in all the rough edges of the school I taught at, like how the kids speak to each other, how teachers talk to each other, how teachers talk to students, and as far as possible reach the realism of, a school teeming with prepubescent / sweaty, foul-mouthed teenagers.
See, I told you.
Eat some more.
Right, so use the character names and use your character bodies, and you are 15 years old. Okay?
Oh, Mr. Jutash bisa.
Okay, it's a year later. You guys have known each other for a year, and it's Charlie is your form teacher, and he's coming in to talk to you about morals. What? Yeah. Civic and moral education. Okay? So bring attention to your own head, your neck, your jaw, your face. How is your tension in that area? How are you holding it? How are you habitually using your own head and neck? Find that character physique. What tension are you storing? What does the age that you're playing do to you? So in your body, in your character body, whether student or teacher, move around, pass the basketball.
Thank you.
I'll get you next time, Joe.
Looking forward. Okay.
So I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Reflexes of a cobra. Time to join the women's NBA. I should change career is one through line. It's like, okay, you got me. Hello, followers. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I can do this. I should do this. I should be a basketball player. I'm amazing. Straight. And then they're like, okay. No.
Think fast. Oh.
Hello, followers of Omar Lamar 666.
Not bad, Joe. Respect.
I'm killing it. Reflexes of a cobra. I should join the women's NBA. Time to change career.
Okay, good rhythm is good. Energy is getting there. I don't feel you're as obnoxious as would compel them to ask you to stop. Right? You need to be so over the top and in their face that they're like, oh dear, we've bitten off more than we can chew. Enough. Sorry, Archer. Sorry, we are willing to work now. Yeah. We're so embarrassed by this that we're willing to work. Also, I think having the costumes in is going to change things quite a bit. So while we have also mentally tried to take into account putting on of costumes, taking it off, things are going to change once those are in. Yeah. Max and I explored a concept where we were looking at what happens when Japanese Harajuku street fashion meets a Singapore school. Is there a funkiness, an inventiveness, an aesthetic quality that you would not normally expect from a play set in a school? So, different paneled trousers and skirts, sleeves that were cut to allow movement at the shoulder, raglan shoulders. You had either pastel color schemes or jewel tones for the teachers, and then you had these amazing collection of outfits for the brain people that were postmodern, wildly inventive, recombining different unrelated elements in a way that was vibrant but never grotesque, never silly. I think Max intuitively understood the work. He brought a very personal approach to the show with his technique and his inventiveness. Okay. Yeah, I think the shoulders and the belt and the bow together.
I will remove this belt. Yeah, but I will replace it with something that's more streamlined.
Can I just see if you remove the belt? Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, it felt a bit too 80s. I realized that now seeing Rebecca's purple thing, it's so beautiful that actually, looking back at the bright blue blazer, so I think the bow at the neck
Needs to go.
The neck also is too much.
Okay,
Because
can.
the blazer is strong with the shoulder. So if we've taken away the belt, or you're going to streamline it, then maybe let's also not have the bow, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so it's
think-
not a caricature. I don't want it to be a caricature.
Understand.
Because she looks so great, and I believe her in the purple. Yeah. Can we give her, I don't know if it works with the neckline, but some kind of like, you know, like a pink stone or jadeite, some kind of bead. I know I'm thinking because like actually Claire has that kind of thing, but just to bring attention to the face. Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. Just something very like simple and beautiful.
Can.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. It's so nice. I told her she should just have all her clothes made by you.
Admin head has announcements.
Surprise! Planning for all internal and out-of-school events was supposed to have been completed during the September break.
What breaks, yeah? Not all of you have submitted your 3 quotes for ITQ and GBiz, procurement forms, indemnity forms. I'm also missing invoices.
It was important for me that all the teacher characters in the play represented genuine political points of view within the teaching profession, while also depicting the bureaucratic absurdity that all large institutions have to contend with.
Let's imagine, right? Let's imagine how this came about. So even if like ordinarily it would be a meeting and they summon her, right? Maybe you all had a meeting and you've made the decision to investigate based on these results. And then we're like, yeah, I think we should let Lilin know. But then we're like, there's no time today. Today's quite packed. Then you're like, well, what do we have now? Oh, it's a photo taking. Okay, we do the photo taking. We'll just ask her to come and we'll have a quick chat with her. I think it's better face to face, so that we can, these young teachers sometimes a bit emotional. We just talk to her in person. So it's actually quite quick, right? And let's imagine the photographer is still here, right? So you're trying to minimize like the tension. Like it's very light for you, and it's almost like he said he's actually checked the shots. Actually, no, sorry, ma'am, you were squinting. Can we do again? Yeah, that's what. So it's almost that. So it's almost that. So let's try. It's quite fast. So my idea is that it's all the more devastating for her because it's so casual. Yeah. So yeah, when you reach a level, walk over to her, and bring her into the photo. Bring her into the photo. Talent, when you reach our level, which you will with your talent, you will see all the stakeholders, all the moving parts, right? Yeah, so then let's see what happens if you're here. Wow. Yeah.
Macam old clothes that we came to store. Macam old toys you don't play with anymore. Macam
With my personal artistic practice and with Checkpoint Theatre in general, I think I'm always trying to do something different with each show. I'm trying to push myself to a higher standard, to the next level, to learn and grow. So happy to work with Hafiz Hassan, who brought an inventiveness of choreography to it. My challenge to Hafiz was, can we put Buto, Southeast Asian / South Asian dance, and hip hop together to form one vocabulary of dance, of choreography for this production. I do not want to default to some of the cliches of musical theatre choreography. I want something that is unusual, arresting, that speaks to the strangeness and complexity of being a teenager, where you are learning so much, your brain is so plastic and alive, and you're absorbing so many influences of the world. I want that scene. You've got joy, you've got pain, you've got frustration, you've got conflict. You have learning in the body, and I want to see that on stage.
So because part of what Weish is exploring as a writer is the joy and delicacy of youth, of the process of education, the process of growth and maturity. So I think that's really interesting. Hafiz has very cleverly taken these these three influences and woven them in. But just so you understand that we are looking at just the energy from the hip hop side. We're looking at the delicacy, grace, joy from the more Asian-inspired, Southeast Asian-inspired things. And then we're looking at the sense of the darkness and pain and processing of the difficulties of school life with the Buto-inspired things. So those are the three kind of elements in the mix, yeah.
So one thing I like about Huzir is that he gets to see things in terms of staging and storytelling. Yeah, because sometimes I get so comfortable with where I am in terms of how I want things and people to see it. I think that's where everyone else's experiences and life experiences also plays a part. It comes with wisdom, you know? So I feel like most of the time, or some of the time as well, Huzir interjects and says that he wants it not to be like this. Can we do it like this instead? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Now that comes with experience. To make it look more refined and quote-unquote expensive. Oh, one thing I realized about Huzir also, he's very diplomatic. Yeah, not sure whether that's the word, but he really makes sure he finds the time to hear what everyone has to say. Yeah, he's always there. He's always punctual. He leads the way, and he brings us in a circle. He allows all the cast to share before we start rehearsal.
And similarly with Hafiz, I've been saying to him, look, I think go harder, go stronger, go more virtuosic. And then if cannot, then we pull back. But I don't want this to be at like a very safe, comfortable level, and we don't, just because we are a mixed bag, right? And just because we don't have that like assumption that everyone can do everything at the same level. I don't want that to be a limit. But I want us to try and push. And then that's why I keep asking you guys, are you okay? Because I genuinely don't know. And I don't want anyone to be paise about saying, actually, I'm really tired. This is tiring. I don't feel safe. This is not good. So just tell me and then we'll scale back. But I do want to push it so that if everyone, for certain moments, certain types of choreography, certain songs can rise to the challenge, then it will be extremely fun. Yeah, extremely short, I think. I'm also obviously playing with the iconography of crucifixion. And so there's a theme in art that, Christ is crucified, but then you see the angels with expressions of despair. You see the Virgin Mary, crying and lamenting. So I think that's also part of the visual image that I'm trying to create with this as well. So you're very stoic and noble and martyr-like. And then the horror is seen in you. Yeah, and I feel if we try, I know you're stressed about getting the movements right, but if we try and get that vibe in now, then it makes sense with the moves, it makes sense with the music. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, and can I ask the expressions, just crank it out. Seriously stricken and sorrowful, fearful, terrified, lamenting. Currently it's a bit like, oh, the avocados have gone up in price. Yeah, it needs to be much more intense. Yeah. Yeah, overly.
In theatre, you will find that stillness is power. So an actor who can take the space and be grounded, draws the eye, is magnetic. If you want to move, it should be vibrant and not something that dissipates your energy. So I was in this interesting situation of, it's a musical, there is dancing, but how can we remember the power of stillness? So the movement is, with Hafiz's assistance, very pure, I think. Some of the blocking, I was working in circles, I was working in loops. Nice. I was thinking of ways in which, even in motion, we can create the power of stillness.
We can accept your time is truly come.
welcome. So, Ian's office.
Good morning, Huxley, I'm here to say it's time to work now, our holiday's done. Take note, exams are around the corner.
You had better learn to save yourself first. Trust me, you don't wanna be where I've been. The system always wins.
Very nice. Ian had been the arranger and the music producer for all of the backing tracks. And the original cast recording was recorded at PK Records at his studio. Ian also pulled in a brilliant young musician named Daniel Alex Chia, and I think they formed a very powerful team together.
There's this kind of trope in rock where you have these questioning self-doubt moments, but delivered in such a powerful voice that actually we don't genuinely believe, like we don't believe that you are doubting, but for those of us who are listening who are doubting, it helps us. So it's like the, what's going on? Or the, where do we go now? Like we don't think that he's really lost and he, you know, it's the existential demand of the universe. So I feel that that kind of vibe that you're already going for with the strength and the growl, if you really push it, because this is like, all of us feel that we're withering shadows, but because you're saying it with such conviction and passion, like it's okay for us, you know? Yeah.
I'm just a withering shadow, a small pawn in an intricate puzzle, designed by a higher being that I'm having trouble believing in.
Some actors would need assistance with certain vocal techniques. The songs are tough. The songs are challenging. But every member of the cast benefited from having advice about vocal health, how to maintain your voice in the course of a long run and with these difficult songs. So that's where Emmeline was invaluable. She did one-on-one sessions with the actors. She was also on call during the run if actors ran into difficulties, and she would prescribe exercises for them to build up the strength in their voice or to compensate for injury or to avoid injury.
Live from where are we? NLB. But why are we, so do we intro each other to the camera? Because we know each other. And we can, but we'd be like a three-headed hydra, I suppose. Yeah.
Huzir Sulaiman, he's the boss. If you never watch Brown Boys, it's your loss. But other tickets for this, of course. Something, 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 come join us.
Yeah.
I think that's a classic of the genre.
Yeah. Classic,
Yeah, that's astonishing. Thank you. Something, of course.
Of course.
Hope to see you, of course.
Okay, great, thank you.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Was it okay? Do we have to do it all over again?
In terms of the size of the theatre and the number of performances, we had a lot of tickets to sell. So my brilliant marketing colleagues had to work very hard to get the word out through every possible channel. Social media, inventive uses of music and interviews.
So good.
Very good. So let's take it up a tempo.
So my actors were from different backgrounds. Some of them were fairly seasoned musical theatre professionals. And I think they found my Friday end of the week runs or stumble throughs a little bit challenging because the show wasn't yet finalized. Not everything had been worked on.
The question was, why don't we just sit down and iron out those parts before we even go into like full run? Because a full run is 3 hours, you know, and 3 hours is like time that we could be spending working on other things. And so Huzir had to like, you know, point out that the work is still in progress, the writing is still in progress, and this is very necessary for him as a dramaturg to see the beats of the production. So when he asks for a full run, he isn't asking us to like memorize our lines at that point in time. He's not asking us to be like super tight on choreo or whatever, but it really just is to see the flow of the thing.
I needed to frame it for them that it was not a test for them, it was a diagnostic, that I could see how the show was evolving, how the storytelling was flowing, what was too slow, what was too fast, what do we need to spend more time on, what looks a little shaky or rough and we need to give more rehearsal time to, what's looking good. So having a regular temperature check in a way, having a regular assessment at the end of each week of our rehearsal process was important to me. So I think for the first 6 weeks, we were seeing a show in progress being made, but that we were running every Friday. But then for the final couple of weeks, we were running repeatedly, almost virtually every day, so that you could build up stamina. A show of that duration required both the stamina of a marathon runner, but also the precision and acceleration of a sprint. So you need both of these temperaments or these disciplines or these skills. So yeah, I had to build that in. I had to build in time for my actors to learn to do both, to sprint and to run a long distance. Okay, very good, yeah. Thank you. Okay. You write one, huh? You write one. Very tight, like all killer, no filler. And the emotional journey is there. Careful your head. The emotional journey is there. It's not. It's non-stop, but you know the non-stop comes in waves. But what's great about this is that I can now build in points to breathe, which is like necessary. It's like the python coiling around you, then loosens, and then you breathe, and then yeah. So that's it. It really is that. Oh, so good. And it works. The reorganization, the cuts, the additions. You okay? Really well done. Are you happy? Okay. Cry more. Cry more. You're happy. You're happy. Cry.
Hang on for just a while more.
Thank you. Yeah, very high quality.
It's 1 hour 8 minutes.
Oh, nice.
I think with the right fade out and fade in, it should.
Yeah, 123, 108.
Fantastic.
So it's 231. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great, that's great. The thing we need to hold on to, right, is this feeling of how good
the show can be, because you were doing it with love for each other. And then now we add a radically different space and 500 relative strangers. And so we have to copy paste that vibe onto a different set of parameters. So brilliant run today, funny, moving, pacing very good. A lot of beautiful acting details from all 12 of you. Like, no point I say nice things because we'll be here a very long time, but all of you were doing very, very good work. So thank you for that. So I'm just reminding you, as I just earlier reminded Hafiz and Weish, that like the show is good, but as we know in the theatre, momentarily it will be muddy and murky and freaky and crap, and we'll like, is it gonna work? But we just trust and have faith and remember this feeling and this intention and the love that you had for the story and for the characters and for each other as an ensemble, and we make that happen in the theatre. So I'm fully confident that it's going to be very good in a very different and bigger stage, like literally bigger stage way, when we are in VT. So, but yeah, well done. Yeah, so once again, err on the side of caution. Please, no ice drinks, no carbonated drinks, no chili, no fried foods. Yeah, no alcohol for those of you who are still, drinking. Okay, but thank you all so much for your hard work and collaboration. In the spirit of Hari Raya, please forgive me and please forgive us for any lapses that we've had, any deficiencies or any mistakes I may have made. But thank you all, it's been wonderful and really looking forward to moving into the next stage with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Walking onto the set, it was one of the first times in my career where the set was more beautiful in real life than it was in the plan. It's not normally like that. Sometimes it's, in real life there's always a kind of a compromise. But in this case, it was even more beautiful, even more impressive. And although it looked a bit scary in terms of negotiating the staircases, after I myself had tried it a few times, I realized that if I could manage it, it was then safe for my much fitter and much younger actors to negotiate.
Okay. Take care. Walk slowly, girl.
I was also very happy to incorporate the projection surface into the actual set. So we've been working on accessibility for our shows for a long time, trying to find ways in which the D-Deaf community, also the visually impaired, can appreciate our work, and being able to have captions for this, and it was captioned throughout, was important. But I didn't want to default to the LED screens on the sides. I wanted the captions to be projected directly onto the set. So essentially the banister or the railing for the upper level of the set became the projection surface. And it was very minimal and it was very beautiful.
Hello. Welcome to Victoria Theatre. How's everyone? Feeling good? New haircut, very nice.
Yes, Ashley, thank you.
Very nice. How are you feeling? Nods.
No.
Nods in optimism.
I made an initial calculation, which later turned out to be problematic, that we could cover some of the main character roles from the existing ensemble members. As it turned out, that proved impractical, and so we did not have somebody covering the main character, Li Lin. And that became problematic when a week before we bumped in, Genevieve Tan started having issues with her voice.
But it wasn't even that Jen had a sore throat. It was that there was a very specific muscle. Even our vocal coach, I don't think it's visible or discernible from her voice, but it was a very specific muscle in her neck. So it wasn't until bump in that we realized she had just gone back to the doctor, and the doctor said, I'm not giving you the green light to perform because you risk permanent damage to your voice. And once she told us that, it was like we had no idea the stakes were that high.
So Claire and I took the decision that she should rest the first few shows. It was a very difficult time trying to work out whether we could actually go ahead, whether Jen would recover in time, whether we should cancel the first few shows. But what came up was the idea that Weish would step in.
My biggest fear was that if I did not perform, then the show would not go on. So I didn't tell Huzir what my doctor said until just before the show was about to open. And immediately, with no hesitation, they just pulled all the stops to keep me healthy. You know, I will never forget when Huzir told me that Weish will be doing opening weekend. I was like sobbing my eyes out. And despite my pleas saying, I can do it, I can, give me the chance, Huzir told me, this show has the opportunity to open a lot of doors for you. And the last thing that Claire and I want to do is to put you on stage when you're not at your best. We want the show to open doors for you, not close them. And anyway, you just cannot risk long-term harm to your voice. He said that I have many, many years ahead of me, and it just mattered so much that they cared about that. I will always remember the feeling, the sparks, the rainbows in my brain when Huzir and Claire spoke to me that day, and the light, the relief that I am more than just an actor. That conversation was very healing.
And I'm eternally grateful to Weish that she thought she would take it on rather than say, no, let's just cancel the shows until Jen gets better. I mean, we didn't know if Jen would get better at that point.
A big part why I didn't want to do it is because it was too close to my reality, and I didn't know if I would want to do that with no distance.
Jen was shadowing her throughout. Jen was, in a very soft voice, sort of standing off stage and making sure that she got all the correct entrances and exits, essentially holding Weish's hand through that process. So Weish was very grateful for that Jen was basically backing her up. My heart went out to Jen too. I mean, this was her professional debut. She's the lead in a huge show for a major theatre company, and it looked like she was being robbed of this, but thank heavens that she was able to recover after sitting out those first few shows. And I remember sitting next to Weish in the audience the day that Jen came back and she actually formally debuted in the role, and both Weish and I were holding our breath. Like, how's she gonna sound? Is it gonna be okay? Can the voice hold the whole show? So from the first note of Aya, we were like, oh, thank God, she sounds great. And then, but of course, there's that residual level of, okay, can she last the whole show? Because it's a massive show. And then she's got the closing number to anchor as well, besides all the other intervening solos. And it was actually vocally flawless, and I think we were both tearing up with joy at the fact that Jen was back. Jen had recovered, and Jen was brilliant. So as a dramaturg and a director, I never want to go out to the audience, because then the audience just sits back and they receive and it just washes over them. You want to ask the audience to meet you halfway. I'll come out to you, but you come into me. And what that means is that you don't telegraph things, you don't make it obvious, you respect the audience's intelligence, you allow for nuance, you allow for complexity. You allow yourself to underplay things subtly, such that the audience is invited to step into this world with you. Because if they do some of the work, the impact is more. If they join you on that journey, it's a more powerful and poetic trip that you're taking together.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Secondary the Musical by Checkpoint Theatre, written and composed by Weish and directed by Huzir Sulaiman. We're delighted to have you with us today. At this time, please silence your mobile phones so that they do not disrupt the performance. During the performance, please refrain from photography, videography, and recording of any kind. You're welcome to take photos and videos before and after the performance. What I am interested in seeing is the truth of the story. Because obviously in the last few days we've been very concerned about the costumes, the microphones, the amplification, the monitors, the quick changes, the entrance exits, the staircase, the set, negotiating, all of that. Completely understandable. But what I want to say is, let's see how all of those things can do the work of the story for you. And all you guys have to concentrate on, which the beautiful lights, the beautiful set, the costumes cannot do for you, is the truth. So you just concentrate on the truth of these relationships, these conflicts, these friendships, this hope, the disappointment, just the sheer power of the human spirit that's all throughout this work. And that, I think, is what I want to see. So don't worry so much about sending the story out to the space. I would say let the space fill the story for you. Okay, so just concentrate on the truth, concentrate on being these wonderful characters, and that, I think, will make everything work.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here at the world premiere of Secondary the Musical. 3 years in the making. I'd like to call up the production team, as it's the first night, to thank them. But first, can we have another round of applause for... For the lady behind this all, the playwright, lyricist, composer, musical director, and tonight playing the role of Lee Lin.
That's a wonderful feeling. I mean, to have a hit is a great thing, but to have a hit when the show is so meaningful and says such important things and goes to such sensitive and valuable territory, I mean, that was an amazing feeling.
When I remember that week of shows, I remember the love that I felt. Every day people were checking in with me and how I was, giving me a lot of tender, loving care. And that made it just all that much easier.
Such an amazing triumph over adversity for Jen. An amazing effort by Weish to rescue the production. And just the whole team kind of held together and coalesced and was instantly supportive of Weish, of Jen, of Checkpoint. We did really well in the first week, and then the word of mouth then sold the rest of the show for us. So the second week, we were incredibly full. There was apparently literally a secondary market on Carousel for Secondary the Musical tickets. We had various people coming up to us saying, I think I bought the last ticket to the show.
Hello, notes. We've got the pace, we've got the laughter. We set up the emotional complexity so that we can then pay it off in Act 2. Not saying you didn't do it, actually you've been doing it. I'm just reminding you that let's not get distracted by the huge laughs. Let's build in these shades in these characters, right? The Ming's, Omar's, Ray's particularly, but also Jen, also Rebecca, also... Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I choked now.
Oh, don't choke on water. Yeah. Just drink it nicely. We are sold out tonight, and I believe for the rest of the run. Nothing is guaranteed, okay? So the laughs are not guaranteed, the applause is not guaranteed, that connection is not guaranteed. We must not get lazy, we must not coast, we must not take it for granted. Let's just, again, show up for each other, for the story, and for the audience. I know you guys know how much it's been meaning to people and how cathartic and healing it's been for many people. So just keep showing up for your audiences. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, it's Huzir. Can I come in? Okay, then I won't. Just to say well done.
I know people always wonder how do you work with your spouse and spend so many hours together, and I do marvel at that. But I am grateful actually. I get to spend so much time with my partner in life and in art. There's a lot of joy, but yes, it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes a lot of listening and collaboration in the best sense of the word. We're both, as artistic, creative partners, I think we respect each other a lot and we are inspired by each other. So that's a bedrock, I feel, to our working together. I think we disagree well. I mean, we're both very opinionated. And I think the good thing is that we both talk neither one of us actually says, no, I don't want to talk about it, and then you just sort of, one partner is left hanging, like, what's going on, what's bothering you, tell me. So the good thing is, I think we are both very forthright, and we will just let it out. We're very transparent.
I think it's about helping each other to become the best versions of ourselves. Right? So I see that we have grown, certainly as artists, probably as almost certainly as people as well, in the course of our time together. And having that constant support, but also vigilance, right? Someone who is able to catch you if you're veering off course, or point out where you could do better. I think that's been very important for me, at least. So I think I've learned to work with my strengths, mitigate my weaknesses and challenges because of this partnership.
I think we have learned from each other for sure. I know I have learned things, and I have grown.
Name 3 things.
So I think the 3-year period that this fell into coincided with a lot of difficult moments in my life. I think, well, for all of us, the pandemic, but also I think the passing of my mother in 2021, having shoulder surgery, which took a really long time to recover from in 22. Then the passing of my father at the end of, in December last year, just 2 months before rehearsal started. And I have to say that one of the major things that kept me going, that gave me hope, that brought joy to my life, was being able to work on this project. And being inspired also by the bravery that Weish showed in negotiating the various challenges in her own life, and the care that she was giving to others, I think gave me a lot of strength in being able to navigate my own life challenges. But the entire team has made this for me a very healing process. It's made it a very joyful process. I won't repeat all of the thank yous except to say that I think collectively I'm really grateful for the energy of the strength of the kindness that you all had for each other. Just seeing that camaraderie in the rehearsal room, seeing the investment of my designers, being able to work almost every day in the rehearsal room with Hafiz as choreographer and Weish as musical director, seeing the wonderful creativity and commitment that Katrina brought in, Zefeng brought in, Max brought in, Max's amazing mood boards, and the way his team sprung into action and altered all the clothes on the spot and made everyone look good. Just really moved by the passion and talent and commitment of Ian and Daniel at PK, and just how much they have done to bring this sonic world alive. Shah, of course, without whom, none of you would have been heard. So thank you all for the joy that you brought into my life. It's really meant a lot. Thank you, as I said the other day, thank you for journeying with me. Thank you for forgiving me my missteps and failings. We hope that this is not the end, but the beginning. Yes, we want to bring the show back. It's a matter of availability. I'll just end with one thank you, which is, as I said on stage, is to Claire, who kept the company going, kept the production going, kept her husband and her fellow joint artistic director and the director of this production going. I think we owe you everything. So thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoy the evening. Eat more, drink more. Woo!
Everybody in the team really stepped up their game. I'm very, very proud of the Checkpoint Theatre team. coming together and putting on stage this work, the kind of audience experience and care that was given as well, and I think it signifies the company also moving towards bringing back work like Secondary and acknowledging that these are modern classics that we have really contributed to the Singapore canon of original work.
I think Checkpoint's greatest beauty and strength is that their work reminds you that every ordinary person is extraordinary. Checkpoint's work lingers in your life, and they do such good work so quietly. Everyone who works with Checkpoint Theatre is respected, included, and acknowledged as just as important as everyone else in the room. And if and when I work with them again, I will work in service of them in the same ways that I have felt that Checkpoint Theatre has quietly worked in my service as an up-and-coming actor.
All of them, every single person was doing such amazing work. Shahid, clear audience favorite. The cheers and applause and how much it meant to young men, I think, to see themselves represented on stage. We lost Shahid. Later in the year. He had been cast in a third Checkpoint Theatre production, Hard Mode, and was 1 week into rehearsals when he was diagnosed with leukemia. And he had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy, so on doctor's advice he withdrew from the production. The understudy took over. Like many people, I was messaging Shahid every day in the weeks that he was in hospital, sending him funny stories, good music I thought he would enjoy. When he was still able to take visitors, I dropped around with books and magazines. He had become a friend through Brown Boys Don't Tell Jokes, through Secondary the musical, and in the amazing work he did in the workshops and the early rehearsals for Hard Mode. He was a valued collaborator and a friend. And sadly he passed away from complications relating to his treatment for leukemia. I think almost everybody from Secondary and Checkpoint Theatre was there at his funeral. And with the support of his family, we created the Shahid Nashir Memorial Fellowship at Checkpoint Theatre, which is a year-long paid fellowship for an emerging theatre maker to come spend a year creating work, learning from us, being attached to productions, because that's where Shahid was going. He'd asked to come into the rehearsal room, he'd asked to observe our process. He was passionately interested in not just acting, but in writing and directing, and that's what we were making space for. We were planning to incorporate him. So the Shahid Nashir Memorial Fellowship is our way of honoring that intention and paying that forward. I'd like people to understand what I did as a director. It's so that the public at large and the profession in particular can understand what a director does in bringing out the best in a script, in uniting the designers in a singular vision, in weaving together the director's own vision for the work together with the contributions of all the collaborators, in getting the actors to deliver the best performances of their lives, in meeting the audience halfway, inviting them in, taking them to a place that they would never have anticipated or imagined. I think that's what a director at their best does. That's what I've always tried to do, and I hope I can continue to live up to that standard.
My glasses are so smudgy. Married couple theatre making.